Well, after you embarrassed Tatanka and ripped off his feathers and stuffed him in his mouth, there's no payoff. He transitions into a program with Lex
No, he
Luger.
got the payoff because he got the feathers back, so that paid the gift tax.
I got you.
Okay.
He sells out to the $1 Million Man. I got to say, it does seem kind of odd where you're going from feuding with IRS to joining the $1 Million Corporation.
Can't beat him. Join him.
Join him. Do you think Tatanka was prepared to be a heel? I mean, I always preferred Tatanka as a babyface. It's hard for me to, I don't know. I can't get behind him as a heel. What do you think?
That shits as a heel.
Yeah.
So, Tatanka's first big heel interview, man. And Chris didn't get to talk a lot. I think Chris thought he was a great promo. As a heel, Tatanka was not a good promo at all. And I'm trying to give him things about the $1 Million Man and being associated with the $1 Million Corporation and what that meant and what that bought you. Take a look at me. I'm wearing a $40,000 Rolex watch. How many people here make $40,000 a year? This suit took 3 months to make and cost $10,000. Yeah. 5 carats, however much, and give them things that they can identify with. I can talk about my Rolls Royce while talking about your Ford Pinto. I can identify with the guy paid $10,000 and waited 2 months for a custom made suit. And blah, blah, blah. And I'm giving him all that. I'm giving him this promo and I'm driving it in about all the great things and what it means to have the $1 Million Man's money, to have those assets. And he's going down the list. And he says, look at me. I'm wearing a suit from Macy's. I got a custom shirt, shoes from Florsheim.
Oh.
And I threw my papers up in the air, and Vince is looking at me. I go, I can't make him say it. And he comes back and I said, Chris, you remember how, like, give you the custom made suit, the fact that it takes, sometimes 2 months to make those motherfuckers. And, this guy over here is wearing one that's probably $10,000, frankly. And, okay, a custom made shirt. Thank you for that. But Macy's suits, were $100 at the time, or whatever they were. But here's where you got me, man. You got the best shoes at Florsheim.
Yeah.
Florsheim is where 30 years ago, when you walked through that mall we were talking about earlier, was where you got all your 2 pair of shoes for $19.99 or whatever. And he looks at me and he goes, well, these are Florsheim. They're kind of nice. I think they cost $50. That's a lot. I'm like, that's my point. That's my point. Now with the $1 Million Man's money, you ain't wearing $50 shoes anymore because that's chicken shit.
Yes.
And I don't know that light bulb ever went off. And maybe it did from the point of view of maybe he was wearing $20 shoes before. Maybe he didn't have shoes. I don't know. And $50 was a shitload of money to him. But I've never paid $10,000 for a custom made suit. I've never done. It's like most people in that audience, $40,000. Shit, that could be a down payment on a home. And yeah, it's crazy. Just crazy.
It's interesting to think about the Tatanka character and some of the chances we're taking. And I don't know. I, like you, didn't really think the heel stuff really worked. Did you think there was more to do with Strongbow or Tatanka as a pair, or did you think you'd gone as far as you could with that?
There was nothing to do with Strongbow.
No, I mean,
no, there's nothing to do with Strongbow at all. Chief couldn't talk. Chief couldn't work. He wasn't going to make the roads. He couldn't do any of that.
So the story
was nothing left to do.
Story begins with Tatanka and Crush facing off in a King of the Ring qualifying match. The first match ends in a double countout, so a rematch is set for a lumberjack match, and Luger's going to help Tatanka get the win after hitting him with the loaded forearm. And Tatanka begins to show a heel side of things, and at the King of the Ring, he would lose to the eventual winner, Owen Hart. He loses to The Undertaker, managed by Ted DiBiase, but defeats Nikolai Volkov in a $10,000 challenge match, while claiming Lex Luger is selling out to Ted DiBiase to become champion. And it sets up a match at SummerSlam between the two, as Luger denies it, but DiBiase doesn't deny it either. And there's always circumstances where Tatanka catches Luger talking to DiBiase. And there's even a telephone poll, which was, of course, profit to the company because you could call in and vote on whether or not you think Luger is with
I thought
DiBiase.
you were meaning there was a telephone poll, like a...
No, call the hotline, blah, blah, blah.
Okay.
Was it ever considered to move Luger with DiBiase?
Not that I can really ever recall.
So it's positioned as babyface versus babyface at SummerSlam, and it's announced backstage in an interview between Lex and Tatanka that 54% of the fans polled on the hotline thought Luger sold out to DiBiase. And Tatanka is able to win when DiBiase distracts Luger. DiBiase enters the ring with a red, white, and blue bag full of money. Luger kicks the bag out of DiBiase's hand. Tatanka then attacks Luger from behind. He turns heel, hits 2 Samoan drops, hugs DiBiase, and the two leave the ring together. And a few minutes later, DiBiase is instructing Tatanka to give Luger a little more. And Tatanka applies the $1 million dream on Lex Luger and then stuffs the money in his mouth. What a turn for the Native American. I got to say, even if we didn't really like him as a heel, the angle was done well. Hey, it's Luger, it's Luger, it's Luger, it's Luger. Oh, well, it's actually me.
Well, I like Tatanka as a heel. I hated his promos.